Market Street. Gina was raised by her aunt, her mother's sister. They were twins. And I met the family back then, and it was so refreshing to see them move into the neighborhood because we were the second African-American family that lived in the neighborhood. It's a predominantly white neighborhood. We were the second African-American family to move in that neighborhood, and then they became the third. And so I said we had company. I was deeply troubled and shocked to hear of her death because you look at people and you never expect them to die at such a young age. But God knows the end time of all of us. And she was a good-hearted woman, and we had our moments on her as a councilwoman and me as a mayor. She stood her ground and I stood mine, but at the end of the day, we got the job done for the taxpayers of this city and, equally important, this region. And I always remind people that prayer is effective because it was a very contentious relationship at times. But Gina would always go up into the mayor's office and we would discuss our differences, which is all what I ever asked of any elected official when we disagreed. And I am so glad to stand here tonight and say that she certainly did make amends with me before she departed. And I don't think Gina knew that she was going to pass away like all of us. But, it was just amazing. One day I was sitting down just thinking, who should I call? At the time I was circulating my petitions, and I already had, very close friends out there circulating. And I got this call from one of my friends saying that she had saw Gina out, and Gina had asked her if she could circulate a petition for me. And so I reached out to Gina, and she was very excited. And she says, Mayor, I think you would be great for Congress. You're a fighter. And I couldn't think of a more better person to represent us in Congress. So she got out there, she walked the streets and circulated my petition. And so those who have differences with people, you never know the hour or the time. It's always best to make amends and to get past your differences, because you just never know when that person's going to leave or when you're going to leave. And I'm just so glad that she left here with a healthy relationship with me, and she got out there and got me 30 plus signatures and brought them back, and with all my family, we got them notarized. And that's the Gina that I knew growing up. You should never get to a point where your friendships separate over politics. And I've seen friends and family destroyed over that. And I just won't allow that to happen. So again, as a party, we need to take note of that. I know we all disagree at times, viciously. But when it comes to being inside of a family, we need to know how to forgive each other and move on.
That's right.
And I certainly want to stand here proud of our chairwoman, Marilyn Levin. I know Marilyn gets under all of our skins at times. And I know Marilyn has said things that we all cringe about. But think about the things that you have said where someone else has cringed about. She works hard for this party, and I think what we need to do from now on is we just need to send Marilyn emails, as opposed to running out and forming coalitions and factions to further divide this party. I was at an event last night where Sarah spoke on behalf of one of the candidates as lieutenant governor. And she was very passionate about the person she supports. In fact, it was a family member, and I'll reserve the name to reserve any indication that I have a support for this person. So she said that there were two things that were different about the candidate. And I took it and snatched it and associated it with the party. She said that the difference between her candidate that she supports and a Republican candidate was because we think and they don't. She says we share and they don't. And so just know that about yourselves, that we are thinkers in this party, and we share. We know how to make amends and love each other and move on to get the job done. So let's make sure we get the job done and make sure we put the right people in office that represent this party, and put your differences aside, because you don't know if we will pass away tomorrow. I still support my partnership. It's a tough lesson, but we all need to learn it, because you never know when we'll meet each other. Thank you. God bless all.